And hello, everybody. Once again, welcome to what is now our 6th episode of VegfestUK Chat, coming to you live from our little Vegfest HQ, as it were, and a very warm welcome to you for tuning in. Thank you for those of you joining us live, and if you're watching again later date, a warm welcome to you to what is actually going to be our Summerfest Online special. We're going to be spending the next hour or so looking at some of the highlights of the upcoming VegfestUK Summerfest Online event that's taking place August 14th, 15th, 16th online at vegfest.co.uk/Summerfest Online. So a very exciting, and once again, I am joined by my co-host, who is going to help talk us through this exciting hour and something packed show full of vegan options. Once more, Karen Ridges, thank you for joining us from deepest Essex. How are we doing, Karen?
Yeah, all is good here in sunny Essex. I think the summer has really arrived in time for VegfestUK Summerfest Online, and for tonight's chat as well. I am really excited. We've got the best guests, especially for you, my lovely viewer. So yeah, we've got a great show and an incredible festival being lined up for you next week as well. So how's it all going, Tim?
Do you know what? It's proper tropical here in Bristol. It's quite warm. It's about 28 degrees, but it's actually just got a little touch of rain. So there's a sort of slightly rainy, damp, you know, what is known as overcast in the UK. We're very familiar with that word in the summer, but warm and tropical and quite sort of reminiscent of, you know, Thailand or something. So there you go. But I'm really thrilling to be joined again. Karen, thank you so much for joining us and giving up your valuable time. I know you have family commitments, work, and all these things. Here we are into month, I don't know, 5 of this sort of into semi-lockdown, I guess. Every time I hear that tune, actually, that opens the show, it takes me back to mid-May when we did our first episode. And that sort of very strange time we were still going through, very, very uncertain times. Of course, I do know it's very uncertain for a lot of us still, and for people who are, you know, facing hardship. I hope this little short, compact and bijou hour or so will be uplifting, as indeed the whole Summerfest will be. That's the aim. So, before we get into Summerfest, actually, I'm just going to mention this. Now, the friends of Vegfest UK, I mentioned hard times. Vegfest UK, like a lot of events, is faced with an extraordinary times. Our venue at Olympia is still shut. We lost our show back in March. Our income dropped off. Unfortunately, one of these businesses that is 100% drop off. So we're all doing all of this work now for free, pretty much. We're doing our best to kind of do what we can. Friends of Vegfest is set up to act as a little bit of a donation box, really, for those that might want to contribute to the cost of this online event. It is free. It's coming up next week. It's our first free online event. We've got 2 more in November this year, and then March next year. They're free. They're a great opportunity to bring people, especially new to veganism. So just wanted to mention that. Friends of Vegfest, you'll see that crop up at the Summerfest. And Karen, we had some fantastic news. It was last time we were on our show, we had Viva and Juliet Gallatley break the news that Viva had won the best British documentary at the film festival. The best, I think it's the best, what is it, for the Wild Animal Award. That's fantastic, isn't it? Because you know Tony and Juliet a long time.
Yes, I have. And brilliant congratulations. They put so much into their work, and they have done for the past, I don't know, probably more than 25 years. And for them to win at this festival with their film is fantastic. So lots of love and all of our support to Tony and Juliet and all of the team. I think just 2 weeks ago, they announced that they were finalists, I think, and now we're able to announce that they won. So a massive, huge congratulations for everybody at Viva and all the groundbreaking work they do.
Yeah, it's a fantastic, it's a really notable achievement by the Viva team. So again, well done, Tony Wardle especially, congratulations. And also on that note, a heartfelt thanks and congratulations to the Vegfest Morocco team. This shouldn't be a picture of me really, this should be a picture of the whole Morocco team, but we're a little bit late in getting sorted for this one, but as you knew. But I was a guest speaker at this event. It was online. It was going out with speakers over 40 countries, and particularly across Northern Africa, the first vegan event, truly global online. And I just wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you to especially all that volunteer team. Karen, it was amazing. They've really done a good job there.
It was wonderful. And, I just wanted to say with that as well, they're translating Tim's interview into Arabic and French, which just blows my mind. How incredible is that for veganism? So, yeah, brilliant. And thank you, Pete, the producer, for this sort of cartoon picture of me.
Karen, what else is this? What is it? Karen? Who came up with it? Karen's Super Celebrity Summerfest Special.
You did.
Saturday, 15th of August at 7:30 p.m. Now, this is a part of the Summerfest. We have a whole set of live streams, I think 20 different live streams running the entire weekend, 14th, 15th, 16th, as well as a number of other presentations. Of course, I should note, I think we have something like over 70 presentations, and we'll come to that. But this is the highlight of the show, I would say, on the Saturday. You've got some fantastic guests, and none other than this gentleman here, Nathan King, Level 42. My goodness.
Oh, you know what? I love Level 42 and got chatting to Nathan and went to their backstage party after their performance at the Royal Albert Hall not so long ago. And they just lifted the roof. Everybody, well, they've just got the best fan base. And Nathan, as we see here, he's beaten me. I have to say, I think he's been vegan about 30 years. So he's catching up to you, Tim. So he loved coming along to Vegfest a little while ago. And he said, yeah, I'll come and hang out online with you for the Summerfest. So if you're a fan of Level 42, or you just like to hear about interesting people, Nathan is taking time out of his busy schedule and he's going to come and hang out with us. So, yeah, love the music. Absolutely love the music. So can't thank Nathan enough for his brilliant support. And we've got beautiful Wendy Turner Webster, a brilliant friend of mine who's going to be hanging out with us as well. Wendy and I go back a really long way, and here we have hubby Gary, who long-term vegetarian, did Veganuary, loves being vegan, isn't going to look back. So both Gary and Wendy are going to come and hang out at the Summerfest. I'm so excited. Gary is a fantastic character. Just love his personality. He's very much like the characters he plays in EastEnders and Minders, I've got to say. But yeah, huge theatre career as well. And I know the play that he was rehearsing for has to be cancelled because of the current situation. But yeah, Wendy, big fan and a big friend of Vegfest. And yeah, just so pleased that we're going to have these guys as part of our Summerfest as well. We have a lovely young man here in front of us who we chatted with early on in the week. Now, Hector, now, yes, he is a very young actor. He really does know his own mind, doesn't he, Tim? And we've got here, he is filming different films. He's been in commercials, he's been in TV programs, and he's filming with this TV adaptation of 4 Weddings and a Funeral with our very own Peter Egan and Natalie Emmanuel, who you may know as well from some brilliant films and Game of Thrones. I've met Natalie as well, another passionate vegan, and yeah, really lovely young man. So Hector's going to be joining us as well from a very interesting young person's point of view. Here we have somebody who I absolutely love. You have never met such a lovely lady. Carol Royal, fantastic actress. She's a patron of many organisations, many charities, including the Animal Free Research, who used to be the Dr. Hadwin Trust. She's been in lots of films, lots of TV, theatre, Heartbeat, Crossroads, The Professionals. She went vegetarian in, I think, 1973. So that was she's an absolute pioneer, and her family are vegan, and she just loves being vegan. She stepped up. She presented our VegFest UK Awards in London at very last minute last year, and that leads me on nicely to Tally Spear, who is actually Carol Royal's daughter. Now, Tally is an up-and-coming, absolute pop star, singer, songwriter, performer extraordinaire, and it was Tally that actually convinced Mum Carol to go vegan. So Tally is actually a lifelong vegetarian, has been vegan for many years now, and she's going to be hanging out with us as well at Summerfest. She is so talented. I really think, Tim, watch this space. She is set to be absolutely huge. Her latest single has blown me away. So yeah, she's going to be coming on Summerfest as well, which is wonderful. Absolutely gorgeous Tally Spear, who is daughter of Carol. So, God, Tim, I mean, we get to hang out with some really awesome people, don't we?
Okay, absolutely amazing. Who's this one? Tell us about who we got here. The beautiful looking dog. Is it a dog?
Yeah, this is Victoria Summer. Now, Victoria is an actress, a model, a singer. You may have seen her in Transformers, big Hollywood. I think she lives in Hollywood and lives back in the UK because she is British. She also played Julie Andrews in Saving Mr. Banks, a massive film just a few years ago. Now, yeah, really incredible lady, very passionate vegan. We're going to get to hang out with her next week as well. She actually found several years ago that she had a milk allergy. So she'd done her own research as to what to do, and she'd come across veganism, and she watched films like Forks Over Knives, which we're all quite familiar with. And it's had the biggest difference in her life. She would never eat animals again. And she says that pigs are no different to dogs. And cannot wait to chat with the wonderful Victoria Summer. And we also have here a fantastic Scottish singer based in Glasgow. Kev is a passionate vegan, went vegan about 6 years ago, obviously incredible performer, incredible band. He loves his long distance running, and he realized that all the top guys are vegan. So he investigated a little bit more. Then he come across the moral aspects of veganism, and he hasn't looked back. So we get to hang out with him as well at Summerfest next week and find out a little bit more. And, oh gosh, I can hardly catch my breath for all this excitement as to who you and I get to hang out with, my lovely VegFest viewer. Here we have the absolute legendary Adamski. Isn't he the coolest guy, Tim?
We love him. We had a Damski on not long ago, and we're very happy to have a Damski. All of these people we've been looking at are all going to be guests on Karin's show, the VegfestUK Summerfest Celebrity Special, which is on August 15th. You can tune in live, you can come along to the Summerfest. A Damski is going to be not only on a chat with Karin, but then also doing a set. So you can catch an hour special Summerfest set from a Damski, who's before that though, Damski's going to be on. He's not going to be talking about his music. He's going to be talking about why he went vegan and why he is so keen to talk now about, you know, going vegan and encouraging other people, I think, to take that path. And also on Saturday night, Karin, after the end of the Karin's Super Celebrity Summerfest special at 7:30 it is to 9 o'clock. And then we have a Damski around about 9 o'clock to 10. And then at 10:15, we have these guys here, the Wake Up Experience. They're live hip hop they're going to be live streaming straight out of Los Angeles. So they're in the studio in LA doing a fresh set. They're going to be joining us around about 10:15, chatting to us, and then doing a half-hour sort of music and live streaming. It's a really interesting project here, and we are really looking forward to it. So that kind of wraps up, I think, the Saturday evening we've got in treat for you. And I must say, Karin, you have pulled it out again. I mean, honestly, we are blessed with. I think the beauty of these people is when you look at people like, you know, Carol Royal. You know, she's been at the top of the game there for 50 years. A very difficult profession to make it. And, you know, as said, someone like Nathan King, level 42, and it's groundbreaking. I mean, it's a groundbreaking bass guitarist. And for failed musicians like me, I mean, you've heard me sing and play, so, you know, don't give up a day job, Tim, you know. But I aspire to, you know, when I see people like, you know, and I think a lot of us, we do like a bit of inspiration. We like good role models. And I just think there's also a bit of a humbleness about a lot of the people who go on vegan. It does seem to bring also quite a nice, you know, I've got to say I've met quite a few of your guests, but I've never met Gary Webster. And Gary, of course, played Minder, which was the best TV program series ever in the 80s. And this is like huge, big sort of, you know, footsteps to walk into, like, you know, Dennis Waterman played the original Minder, obviously with you know, Arthur Daly and you know, this fantastic set of characters, and I just can't wait. I mean, just be incredible to meet Gary, and you know, he was in EastEnders too. So there's some just fantastic guests. They're all coming up, folks, at Summerfest. Don't forget, Summerfest is free to attend. It's on August 14th, 15th, 16th. You can register free at vegfest.co.uk/Summerfest Online website. And all the links to all the interesting people we've got coming up are in the post here, should be available there. And talking of interesting guests, Karin, we have not one, but two very interesting guests, I think, just about to join us. Just before they join us, just give us a little bit of an intro for who we've got coming up now to join us, Summerfest special guests.
Look, I've got to say, what these guys are doing absolutely blows my mind. Now, I just did a big radio interview talking about veganism and Summerfest, and they said, what is the part of Summerfest that you are looking forward to the most? And I actually had to say, well, I should say my own part, but it's what these lovely people are doing. Dr. Shireen Kassam and Dr. Leila Dehghan. Now, hopefully I've said that right. Dr. Shireen Kassam is a consultant hematologist and honorary senior lecturer at the King's College Hospital. They really know their stuff. Now, Dr. Leila as well cured herself of debilitating migraines by going over to a no-oil plant-based diet. Now, come on, there's 25 years, I think it is, for me being vegan. hearing about the plant-based professionals, a team of doctors that are passionate vegans and plant-based people, blows my mind. Anyway, I'm going to shut up because I am a genuine fan and I don't want to come over a bit too OTT. I am
to that, Karen. Don't worry about that. You'll be fine.
I'm buzzing about our guests. I really am. We're very lucky. I think we're all very lucky, everybody here in the UK, to have such outstanding speakers sharing their expertise and their passion and their knowledge for veganism. So, yeah, let's bring them on before I gush too much.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Dr. Kassam.
Hi. Please call me Shireen. It's far too formal having the doctor title, and we're all having fun here today. And thank you for the amazing welcome.
Thank you. Yeah. That's really lovely. We're lucky to have you on board, aren't we, Tim?
Absolutely. Really, honestly, the difference, I think that the plant-based health professionals and yourself, especially Shireen, I mean, you've been coming to the shows now for several years. And Leila, I know you're going to be hosting and comparing the session that is, I think, 3 p.m. on the Saturday. Have I got that right? Yeah. Do I know my own times? Yeah, 3 p.m. on the Saturday. But it's been a fundamental shift, I think, for the vegan movement. Is that, you know, certainly all the time I've been vegan, which, did I mention I've been vegan? 36 years now, but basically plant-based since 1980. So I'm coming up 40 years of my plant-based journey. And in that time, I've personally been in and out of a few health aspects, as many of us have. And I think, you know, now the emergence, there's a lot of misinformation, and that's been exacerbated even worse now with the current mood of what's going on. But to have this reliable, evidence-based, steady, plant-based perspective, and also from a vegan philosophy too, I know that you really understand this whole kind of, you know, thing. So have to say you've been a really big part, I think, quietly, of a shift towards really people understanding the real, you know, benefits, and indeed sometimes there's a few drawbacks too, I think, of plant-based diet. So there's very interesting research coming out all the time, I know, and of course you're on the cutting edge of it.
Yeah, thanks, Tim.
Can you tell me about anything in particular at the moment that's coming out, Shireen?
Yeah, so I mean, I guess like you said, we started plant-based health professionals because of this gap in the vegan movement, and we're late to it. I mean, whoa, I mean, congrats for being at this for the last 40 years. I mean, we're riding on your shoulders, and it's great to be partnering with you guys, with your audience. But yeah, back in 2017, we saw a bit of a gap where NHS health professionals and UK health professionals weren't really talking about the evidence supporting a plant-based diet. And for people like myself and Leila, it's our way of advocating for this way of life that really promotes health without sort of the over-reliance on medication. So it's been a real pleasure. And you know, we aim to be like PCRM and the Plantrition Project, but we've got years of catching up to do. So, you know, we plod on and try and get the message out there. But I just think in the last year, you can see from the amount that, you know, I write every week, that there's just been study after study after study just showing how, you know, the more we as humans shift to a plant-based diet, the better we are for our health, the better the environment is. And of course, you know, the animals are so much better off without us putting them on our plates. So I think the science is there. It's just the medical community just take a little bit of time bringing themselves up to date and, you know, changing their entrenched beliefs and behaviors like the rest of us. And I think unless you have veganism, you know, for the animals at the core, it's really hard to change your behaviors and habits. So we try and reinforce with the science information.
I'd like to ask both of you, I'm going to say Dr. Leila and Dr. Shireen, because it's,
why not?
I want to be respectful, but obviously a little bit informal and informal. animal. And, you know, I'd like to ask both of you, what was your turning point? When did you decide, right, that's it, I would like to be plant-based, I would like to be vegan, it makes sense to me? When was both of your turning points?
Yeah, you go, Leila.
For me, I was already vegetarian, and I remember somebody mentioned the word vegan, and I was like, kind of, oh no, that's not for me, that's too extreme. But then I watched Gary V's video, and you know, the minute we know where the milk, the dairy milk, is coming from, I just couldn't have it anymore. I really, it was like kind of no way, and the same with eggs. So I actually went vegan overnight. And you know, doctors don't really get any education in nutrition, so I didn't have a clue what food is. That food can actually be medicine. So I had to learn all of that after I went vegan. And you know, the first conference in the medicine and nutrition with Shireen, actually plant-based health professionals, they actually hosted that. That is when I actually learned that what a whole food plant-based diet is. That food actually can be medicine. So for me, that was like kind of wow. It was, I went vegan for the animals, but learning about the kind of the benefits of the plant-based diet, that was an eye opener and a really turning point in my life, because that is when I changed my own diet. That is when I got rid of my migraines, and then I decided I have to kind of share that with other people, because if I didn't know anything about it, that means that other people don't know anything about it. I went back to medical school and I have no idea. So the public is not going to know anything about it. So yes, that's how, it was for me really life-changing, yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. And we find out about Dr. Shireen as well. But what are you doing here, Dr. Shireen?
Oh, well, this was your amazing event, Plant Powered Expo, back in February. In fact, I think that might have been almost one of our last events this year, and we had such a great time. Like, our stall was so busy. We signed up about 30 new members, and Leila hosted the day of health talks, which was so enjoyable and educational. So yeah, and then here I'm in Iceland, giving a talk at their first conference in Iceland. So it's been a really fun 12 months for all of us, actually, with the different events that have come up. But yeah, my story to veganism is not dissimilar to Leila's, to be honest. I was vegetarian since 2001, but I wasn't particularly conscious. I knew I didn't want to eat animals, but it wasn't until back in 2013 that I really delved into the dairy and egg industry that I realized that, there is no justification of vegetarianism if you're doing it for the animals, and that was the shift, that was the turning point. But then it was about learning how to eat healthily and suddenly coming across all the wealth of information on a whole food plant-based diet. So the term for a healthy vegan diet that, as Leila says, can be used as medicine, because it really does. As we were standing there with my sister in Canada, we're at the first Canadian plant-based nutrition conference that I helped my sister organize and was sponsored by ProVeg, yeah, that was just last year. So it's amazing how the movement is spreading globally.
That's fantastic. And I want to ask you, the people in the audience for these, Dr. Shireen, are they regular people like me, or are they more of the professional doctor type people?
Yeah, well, it's amazing. It's a mixture. It's like our membership. We're open to everybody. We're not exclusive to health professionals, because we know that all big changes in society are led by ordinary people, people who are dying to hear this information. And so we're not exclusive, but we do sort of gear our talks to health professionals. But you find that nutrition is something that you don't need to be a health professional to be really quite educated in, and some lay people, in inverted commas, know a lot because they've had to learn it from themselves, because their health professionals haven't been able to support them on their plant-based journey. So I'd say about 2/3 health professionals, and then 1/3 general public. And we've got a lot of great general public supporters and people who've healed from illness that want to share their stories with us and help to motivate others to heal, essentially.
I love that. And I love the fact that what you guys are doing, plant-powered, plant-based health professionals, you're educating the doctors about being plant-based. I mean, that just is, that I can't think of anything more exciting to inspire fellow doctors to understand about being plant-based and being vegan. And you all look absolutely gorgeous in this photo.
Yeah, it was a sweltering day that day. Oh, and this is our VegMed conference, so you can see Leila and myself and lots of the team there. But Leila's developing a really great new project for us to get more people on board. She can perhaps tell you about what we're calling the 21-day plant-based health challenge.
Yes, we are hopefully launching it in October. So it's going to be an email series for 21 days, as the name says. And we really hope that it's going to be the one stop where people actually can come and, transition to a whole plant-based diet. So even if you are already vegan, but you want to be a healthy vegan, as Shireen said, that is going to be for you. So, we'll have a video and we'll answer all the, the usual, nutritional questions. They will be answered. And we'll share more than 50 recipes in the 21 days, but there's going to be the chance of getting even more recipes after the challenge. So, and hopefully we can actually, it is really aimed at vegans and non-vegans, but obviously we want to get non-vegans to try a whole plant-based diet, and we share tips, because let's face it, food is a very kind of sensitive issue. It's a social, there's a social aspect to it. We are very attached to what we eat. So changing our food habits, our eating habits is quite challenging for people. So we share tips on how people can do their transition. And yes, we are really excited about it. It's going to be hopefully good, and hopefully we get some new people, transitioning. Yes.
And we really hope that maybe, healthcare professionals like me that don't have a great amount of time in clinic to be able to tell their patients all about, nutrition as medicine, we can just say, but we have this email series of videos and information with reliable, scientific based facts and practical tips that you can sign up for. And so it sort of gives us extra tools in our kit to help our patients, because that's what GPs tell us. They don't have time, they don't know where to look for reliable information. And we know the UK do things a bit differently from the US and other places that are offering a similar type of challenge. So it's a UK focused challenge.
Now, I've got to say, and I don't mean any disrespect, I know this is cheeky, and I know I've said this to you, Dr. Shireen, before. We're very lucky. There's brilliant doctors in America. They're wonderful. Dr. Caldwell Stein, there's so many brilliant people. But isn't it exciting that we've got some fantastic UK-based vegan doctors coming out?
So many. We virtually know people in every specialty. There's loads of GPs, and then there's loads of plant-based dietitians and nutritionists like Leila. And, so it's like we don't need to look very far, but, none of us are used to, writing books and getting up on stage, and, we're busy working in our NHS practice. So it's great to give people a platform. And what Leila and myself have tried to do with all our events is bring out these different voices, because we're so used to hearing the same people, and they're amazing, but there's never just one way of doing something. And I think we need to highlight expertise that we have here. And Leila's doing that with some new faces on our panel at VegFest. So that will be nice.
Yes, that's why we actually rely on you. We rely on VegFest or Plant Expo, because that is how we can get to the general public. And I guess, the general public actually plays a huge role, because they're going to go back to their health, GPs and ask them questions. So their GPs have, to look into that. So hopefully that is going to create a change. So yes, we're really excited about next week, about our panel discussion. And do you want me to talk about it? Do you want me to say a bit more about it?
Yeah, I mean, just to say that you have been. I mean, I remember actually, Shireen, when you came into VegFest, it was a bit like a doctor actually. It's like you had a look, and he goes, "Look, you're looking great, but I can see there's we can help you here." And so it's just sort of follow our advice. We'll fix this for you. And of course, what we had was lots of really interesting people, but not really a balance. It wasn't very coherent programs that we were able to present, and also sometimes a bit muddled up. Some of it was evidence-based, some of it was more alternative. And you know, this is okay. There's some lots of good things, but you sort of came in and you had a look and he goes, yes, I can prescribe a cure for this issue you've got here. And we had from then on in, you know, this fantastic set of panelists and a program that was really balanced and has given a number of different voices. Like you say, that narrative, especially up until a few years ago, was a little bit dominated by the same few voices, and this has really opened it up. And I should point out too, though, that I do know that all the work for the plant-based health professionals UK, all volunteers, you know, you all got very busy, demanding lives, exacerbated by the current situation, and we've always been very grateful, not only for, you know, coming to the events and doing the events and giving up your time, and particularly also your expertise and knowledge. The way you just want to really share this freely is a very inspirational part of what's going on.
Thank you.
And it's very important. It's a sort of like a grassroots thing. It's going off now. It's spreading. People can, like you say, GPs can get this information. They can subscribe to it. They can check it. They can fact check it. They can convince themselves before they start convincing their patients and the people they engage with and interact. And honestly, that is such a huge contribution. So now that I've actually said thank you, especially for your volunteer work, Leila, tell us a little bit more. What's actually going to happen on the day? What is the panel? Summerfest, 3 p.m, 15th Saturday, August, live stream, hour and 20 minutes. What's going to be going on?
It is going to be about health and well-being in the time of Corona. So we have a panel of experts, and they are amazing doctors and nutritionists, and some of them actually have worked on the front line with COVID-19 patients. But it is not just going to be about, you know, coronavirus, because, you know, as the WHO says, you know, health is not just the absence of disease. It's really about, you know, the state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. So we are going to talk about, you know, we have doctors, as I said, who have worked with COVID-19 patients, so they're going to share that with us. But also, we are gonna just like kind of talk about how we can strengthen our immune system. How can we actually be healthy, you know, despite you know, of what is going around at the moment with the lockdown, social distancing. So it's really going to be about, you know, just how can we physically and mentally be healthy and well. So hopefully it's gonna be good, and hopefully we can share some practical tips actually where people can go and take some action.
Really looking forward to it. I can't wait. I must admit, I know I'm going to have the pleasure of introducing you on the day. So on that note, we have our next guest already waiting in the wings. So it's been an absolute pleasure to have both of you come and join us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
You can catch Shireen and Leila and the whole team of plant-based health professionals at our show in a week's time. But until then, well, thank you very much, Leila. And well done, by the way. You were on the VegFest Morocco platform. We shared a platform. That was thrilling. I was so excited, honoured to share a platform with you too. So well done. And Shireen, again, thank you. Bless you for all the work you do. It's
pleasure.
Thank you.
Cool. Take care.
Thank you to both of you. Thank you for everything. Thank you. OMG, I'm so happy to speak to Dr. Leila and Dr. Shireen. They just blow my mind, Tim. All the work that they do, and yeah, they're big friends and big fans of VegFest, which is wonderful.
We really love it, honestly. I'm really, and they're just humble too. There's a lesson there for a lot of us, because I think, you know, the history, I won't go into it too long, but the history of animal rights and veganism, we have had to shout quite loudly. And what I love about the plant-based health professionals UK really is it's actually, you don't have to shout. You can just put the evidence there and let people, you know, work it out, and that's wonderful. So, Karin, we're going to move on fairly quickly, actually. So, as usual, when we get to this point, I've been so wrapped up in our guests that I completely forget what on earth we might have. But you know, our producer is very good, and off we go. So we're basically going to be talking about a bit more about the Summerfest coming up, and in particular about the live streams. Actually, we've got some fantastic live streams. So this is Summerfest. This is August 16th. This is the Animal Rebellion live stream at, I think, around about 6 o'clock on Sunday, BST, that's British summertime if you're listening, across the world. And one of the nice things about this live stream, Karin, is the Animal Rebellion team are across the world. So we've got representatives. I know we've got one from New York, Philip, and there are others from across the globe that I cannot actually remember right now. But the Animal Rebellion, they're planning a fresh round of protests in September across the globe. They're generally pretty peaceful, these guys. They're pretty creative, pretty peaceful. And, you know, we like what they're doing. So if you want to come and see what they're doing, the Animal Rebellion live stream is going to be 6 o'clock on Sunday at the Summerfest in 1 week's time. And the Animal Rights Show too. This, of course, one of your big pals, actually, Roger Yates, is the curator of the Animal Rights Show. And Karin, they'll be talking about, along with our good pal Jeremy, talking about a lot of looking actually at the work of Tom Reagan, who was sort of instrumental in the growth of the animal rights philosophy. A lovely guy. And as you know, we end up our show with a little tribute to Tom and Nancy and the work that Tom has done. So I'm sure you'll be tuning in to catch a bit of Roger and his show. We should have him on as a guest, really, shouldn't we? Really? We should get Roger on. We'll see if we can get Roger Yates on for the Saturday morning, because we're going to be doing a VegFest chat on Saturday and Sunday morning, early, 9 o'clock for the Summerfest. So Saturday, 15th August, we'll be doing a show. So Roger, if you're listening, you had to come on. Another really good live stream we got going off at Summerfest is the vegan approach. And this is really for people who are new to going vegan, actually, Karen. So I don't know, the vegan approach is going to be on at 3 o'clock on Sunday at the Summerfest, and it's really an introduction to veganism. So if you're listening and you're either new to veganism or you know someone who is new to veganism, bring them along. It's free to come, and there'll be that kind of support, the right materials, the right assets, the right information, the right people to speak to, kind of geared up. There's a couple of our friends, Pete Regan and Jasmine Harmon, have got have got a short little veganuary video actually there. So that's all there for new vegans, people new to veganism. We've then got the bodybuilding competition, always a big part of VegFest. The Bodybuilders Competition is some kind of, I think this one's going to be a seated shoulder press, so it's going to be easy to judge. That's going to be live streamed at, I believe, 4:30 on the Sunday, run by our very good friends Dave Sheehan and Nathan Lawton. You can see him there in the picture there. They'll be running the Bodybuilders Competition. There's also a fitness panel on the Saturday at the same time, 4:30. But on Sunday, 16th, that's the Bodybuilders Competition, and the entry details will be on the VegfestUK Facebook page at some stage, just as soon as that's ready. Won't be long. Yayo hamper prizes for the winners. There'll be a women's and a men's competition, and you'll be able to enter from home, and we'll be able to judge you. And then we've got our global veganism session, Karin, that you and I are co-hosting. We're going to have Macka B on for that, and I believe we've got also Sheila joining us from Egypt. That's going to be quite interesting, and Sheila visits Palestine quite a lot. We've also got a number of other people joining us, Karin, who I can't remember off the tip of my tongue. That's usually the case, but in fact I can remember, because we're going to have Jay Brave joining us for that one, and Jay is doing some really interesting work right now that will be of interest. And we've also got Christine Vardros too, who's going to be joining us, and we love Christine. Christine's a big fan of VegFest. So this is the 8 p.m. global, actually 7:30 p.m. on the Sunday, the 16th of August at Summerfest. We're going to be joined by guests across the globe. I'm hoping to have our good pal Sinner joining us from Portland or Seattle, somewhere around there. I know it's been on the Portland process, so we'll be seeing about that. And now we're on to the cookery demos, because it wouldn't be the same without the cookery demos, would it, Karen? And this wonderful person, Dave Radley, who I think you know is going to be live streaming a sort of Sunday dinner. I think it's going to be a 1 p.m. Sunday dinner. Or is it 3 p.m.? I thought it was 1 p.m. Do you know what? I think I made a mistake there when I wrote that. I'm pretty sure it's 1 p.m. You'll have to check it out, listeners. Go to the What's On page on the Summerfest website, vegfest.co.uk/Summerfest Online. The What's On has it all. And we're looking forward to today and some of the cookery demos, I guess, Kate.
Oh, yeah, the cookery demos are fantastic. I know Day is very professional. I know she films a lot and is great in front of the camera. So really looking forward to seeing Day. I also know Sarah Kidd, who we see here, who has launched her TV show, especially for vegan baking. Now, Sarah is based in Australia, and I got to work with her through the kangaroo film that was out a little while ago and is still running strong. Sarah is absolutely gorgeous. She has a fantastic look, and you have never seen cakes like this. I mean, who the flipping heck needs eggs and animal products to make a cake? If you are into baking, you have to come and tune in to Sarah on Summerfest. And I just need someone to make the cakes for me. I don't have time to bake as well, but yeah, I need Sarah to come along and just make all of these cakes. They utterly are mind-blowing. So if baking appeals to you, you have to come along and see Sarah on Summerfest.
Yeah, and we'll also be joined by Nishma Shah. Nishma, who runs the Shamboos Catering. Nishma's been coming with hubby Mahersh to our show since 2006 and has been pretty much every show ever since. And just to say that a lot of these cookery demos are sort of basically pre-recorded, so they're like presentations, but then the chefs are also going to be present in the chat rooms. So you can come and talk to them by message. It's a message board function for the chat rooms. And this is another function. So if you say, go to Nishma's, have a look at Nishma's presentation, and then, you know, a number of our chefs will be in the cookery demos chat rooms at pre-ascertained times to be able to come and talk and answer questions. So if you've been inspired maybe by Nishma's, you know, cookery demo, come and find her in a chat room, and that'll be running across the Summerfest. And also Danielle Maupetit, who's been coming out of Vegfest for a number of years, is a pastry chef specialist, desserts, pastry. I know you mentioned, Karen, about not using eggs and stuff in baking. And I'll be honest, I've never been a big cake maker. I like eating raw vegan cheesecakes. That's not a problem, but kind of making them is a less of a thing. But when you come to the pastry and some of the finer and desserts, now that's a real art form. And someone like Danielle has that knowledge and shares it for free and is a very inspirational chef, actually, Danielle.
Yeah, I mean, she is lovely. She's actually been on my radio show a couple of times, and we were talking about Vegfest. Find her on the social medias. You have never seen desserts and cakes and sweets, anything like this. So at Summerfest, you get to pick her brain from the best. I've got an absolute soft spot for Danielle. Yeah, she is wonderful, wonderful lady.
And coming to Anya here, now this is one of the wondrous things about the online event. Anya actually lives in Singapore, originally from Poland. She's been in Singapore for a number of years now, has her own cookery demos project, some wonderful recipes, and is able to join us, you know, because online, you know, although there are drawbacks to the online event and we're all missing the live events, it's nice to see some of the outdoor events beginning to come back, the markets, but the big indoor events are still shut down. There's no sign of them opening currently, and we're into the middle of August here. So, and you can join us from Singapore, and this is where we really begin to open up. We're able to share our recipes and inspiration from across the globe, and for free. This is again the beauty, is that people can join us for free, and that is fantastic. So Karin, it's all about the Summerfest, but it's now going to be all about our next guest, our special guest who's waiting in the wings. We don't want to keep him waiting because he's such a busy man. We're very, very, very honoured to be joined by the most awesome Macka B. Karin, say some fantastic words. Here he is. Oh, here he is.
Yeah. Macka B. Oh my God. Yeah. He likes
it. Yes. Thank you for joining us, sir. It's jolly good of you, I must say, to come in. And it shows this little live stream kind of works, isn't it? It's like, it's always with bated breath. Is our guest going to be able to join us? And here he is. So that's absolutely fantastic. How are you keeping, sir? I believe today's a big day, actually.
Yeah, give time. Yeah, the sun's blazing. Just my kind of weather.
And what's happening today? Isn't it a big day? Didn't something happen just 2.5 hours ago in the world of Macka B?
Yeah, video premiere, Cucumber to the world. Yeah. We did it in Goa in India and just come out. It's been very well received.
That is fantastic, and it's literally I know we've got it, and I'm going to just prompt in a minute my producer Pete to play the short video. It's only short, but it's fantastic. This is literally just gone live, today, a couple of hours ago. We're absolutely thrilled to be sort of sharing this, live platform. Just tell us before we see it. Just tell us a little bit more about it. What's going on here before we drop this?
Yeah, well, it's like the story of the Medical Mondays and the Wami Eat Wednesdays, and how the Cucumber video went viral around the world, and it's just telling people a little bit about my past and what kind of type of lyrics I talk, social commentary and thing, and how it went viral and thing, and how people have gravitated towards it. So it's just about the journey,
Okay, so fantastic. Let's have a little look. Actually, I think we've got something queued up where we can have a little look and a listen. I think it's a short taste, and this is the Cucumber video.
Cucumber to the world. Cucumber to the world.
Oh, yeah. So I was just having a little shuffle there. It just reminds me of Bristol Vegfest. Whenever I hear it, it's just like, oh.
Yeah, it's a summer song,
It's a summer song. It's a great sound, and you must be missing the festivals. Like, what's going on? I mean, how do you manage without that, fix of live performance? It must be awful.
Yeah, well, we had a lot of festivals lined up, and they've been put off till next year. But I'm always thinking positive, even in strange situations. So even when you're at home, I'm a family man. I love my family, so it's nice to be with your family for such a long time, and you find you get a lot of inspiration from my wife, my children, my grandchildren. So it's great. So you'll see even bigger and better things coming from Macka B, so that's how we have to do, reflect and come again.
Oh, that's the wonderful words, Macka B. You are such an inspiration. We're very lucky to have your support. You are such an advocate for veganism and your incredible music. And I know I've said it, before when Macka B come on my radio show, but, we have brilliant acts at Vegfest and Vegfest Bristol. But when Macka B goes onto the stage, it just, the level goes up, the audience go wild. He has them eating out of the palm of his hand. He's just absolutely incredible. So, yeah, we're very lucky, and for you to come over to Summerfest as well next weekend.
Yeah, it should be nice. It should be nice, Very nice. You know, it's different. It's an online thing, but you know, we can still bring the vibes, you know, so we'll see.
All about the vibes. You performed for some brilliant people, haven't you? Who's been in your audience before Macka B?
Well, everybody is brilliant to me. Even the smallest person in the audience, you know, the most unknown person is brilliant. But you may be talking about people like Nelson Mandela and those kind of people and certain politicians and all these kind of things, you know. Yeah, it's nice to perform in front of them. But as I say, even the man next door or the woman next door or the woman down the road, they're just as great.
Oh, that's so wonderful. And I remember, because you do travel a lot, because you're performing, everybody wants you all over Europe, you know, further afield. And I remember you telling me that you actually pack your blender into your suitcase, don't you?
Yeah, most definitely, yeah. Because that's when I started to travel, like when I was becoming vegan, like you find some of the places didn't understand it, you know. When you say you don't eat meat, fish, and dairy products, they didn't get it, you know. So when you go down for breakfast, it's like there's nothing there I can have. Maybe I can have a piece of fruit or something like that, you know. So at first I brought I brought a mini stove, you know, those little stoves, like camping stove.
Yeah.
And I brought my pots and my pans, but they were too big, you know. So and sometimes it took a long time to prepare the food. So then I went to the blender, and ever since then it's smoothie every single morning. I have a smoothie every morning anyway. So when I'm in the hotel, it's smoothie time, you know. It might wake up the person in the next room, but that's life. You know?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've got some fantastic little slides for you coming up, Macka B. One of the attractive things is that, I mean, we noted, I was counting the appearances. You first came to Vegfest in 2007, and that was 13 years ago. And I think you played 6 times now.
6 times.
Yeah, it's the 6th time. One of the nice things about the online thing, actually, is that, and I should say what you're doing, you're going to be joining us on Sunday, the 16th of August at around about 9 o'clock, I think, for a live chat with Karin and myself on the global veganism live stream. And then we've got a set that you've recorded that we're going to then stream live. So you're going to be there to talk and chat, and so people can tune in. And what's nice is that this festival, because it's so about an online aspect, there's people I know that we've come across now who have been excluded from live events, and they get a little bit forgotten about. You mentioned about, you know, person down the street and such like, and making sure that the accessibility of music and the thrill of a live event, it's not going to quite transfer over the online factor, but the online version does give people with disabilities or mobility challenges or illnesses or such like childcare and other logistics that prevent them from attending live events, is to now have a really custom built event that really does put a lot of energy into what is now an online festival. So that's the real benefit, I think, is that it reaches, it's got a reach now. Not only can we reach to people who've been perhaps excluded from live events and are still excluded from live events, but also the fact we can go global, that we can be free, that we can touch base with people literally all over the world. All they need is an internet connection and the all-important web link, which is, of course, vegfest.co.uk, and you can come in and find all about it. So, but I have noted that you haven't changed once. You don't look any different from here, which is 2007, from what you are now. That's that, well, you know, apart from you had a trip on the old.
It must be the veganism, you know. It must be what I'm eating, you know. Yeah, it keeps you young, you know. It keeps you young, and you know, and thinking positive also keeps you young, and exercising as well. You know, we exercise a lot as well, so you know, it's all part of it, you know. But mentally, you know, gotta be positive.
I love
that right now. Do you find that a challenge? I mean, you said you're a grandfather, and you know, it is challenging times. Do you find either your own motivation and challenges changing? And interestingly, what about the people around you? Do you see young people especially? You know, what do you think about mental challenges right now?
Yeah, it's hard for some, especially if they haven't got like a good grounding, like a good foundation, like a lot of positive people around them, you know. But I'm fortunate to have positive people. My children are very positive, you know, even my grandchildren, you know, they're positive, even though they can't do certain things, you know, they've always got a smile on their face, you know, like they're happy all the time, you know. We keep each other happy, you know, we play with each other, you know, we inform each other of certain things, you know, and we eat good, you know, because I'm of the thinking that you are what you eat, you know. So a lot of the animals that are eating, like, they're very stressed out, but you're gonna be stressed out living the life that you're living. So that stress can be passed on to you, you know. So we just eat live foods, you know. We don't eat the death, you know. So I think that kind of helps, because you are what you eat, you know. So it helps to keep myself up, you know. So no matter the situation, we're always positive at the moment, you know. So we just gotta give thanks, you know. It's good to have a spirituality as well, you know. Then you can look past all the physical, you know. If you know there's a higher force, you know, whatever you want to call that higher force. But if you can tap into that energy, it kind of give you more power, you know, and make it be even more positive, you know.
I get that, and I think that it's a threesome of good food, like raw and ITAL food, you know, the unproduced, so that it's in its fresh state, what we'll call a rainbow whole food plant-based diet, which I'm sure our doctors Shireen and Leila would be absolutely 100% behind. You know, I know you are. I know you've been doing a lot of work recently. I've seen your little videos promoting the benefits, basically, of plant-based diets, but particularly for mental health too. I think the exercise is really important, and positive thinking. I mean, the thing about positive thinking is you've got to. It's like anything. You've got to do it. You've got to have the discipline. Yeah. You know, sometimes you've got to have that discipline. I know it's not easy, and I don't want to get in the way of anybody's challenges, because everybody's got different challenges. But Karin, I know you know, we have to, sometimes you just got to switch your mood. And for me, that is 99% of the time music. So right now, you know, like Good Times, Chic is my go-to. If I'm feeling miserable, which I feel miserable a lot of the time, you know, I can't help it. I put on some good music and just start feeling those rhythms, and you know, it's just like, you know, and then I kind of get a little bit up, and then it's like I try what I am doing a lot of right now is Qigong. So Qigong sessions, which is basically a lot of deep breathing, soft exercises. I'll give mental health. And I'm just not indulging sometimes in that misery. Is sometimes, and music's a big part of that. And part of the whole thing about the Summerfest is actually is to share a bit of positive energy, you know, positive energy, give a bit, feel a bit, share a bit, and, you know, feel good about yourself. I think if we can all do a bit of that right now, that's pretty wicked. So yeah, so we're looking forward to it. Karin, somebody to ask Macka B before we wrap up.
No, just tell everybody to tune in on Sunday. Don't forget, tune in. It's going to be really nice. Tune in for the whole day, you know. Even people who are either vegans, vegetarians, you're thinking about it, you're not thinking about it, just tune in, you know. You'll learn something and you'll get some entertainment. You'll be full joy in certain things, you know. And don't forget to watch the Cucumber to the World video. It's on YouTube. Check Macka B's YouTube. Cucumber to the World. Brand new video. Yes, I am.
Yes, I am. Okay. Thank you, Macka B.
Yes. Thank you, Macka B. You're an absolute inspiration. We love music. I love your personality. You know, we've got to work together in the past. I feel very blessed to know you and to know your music. I just want you as my life coach.
No, Karin, you're doing well yourself. You know, you're always bubbly. You've always got a good vibes. You know, the both of you. So we give thanks. You know.
Hey!
Oh, there's the phone.
What a ringtone. That's a wicked ringtone. Yeah. Thanks for joining us. I can tell you're busy, so we're going to let you go now. Thank you ever so much. And again, do come and join us. So if you want to tune in, listen to Macka B's set. That's going to be on the Sunday, the 16th of August, around about 9 p.m. Until then.
All right. One love. Guidance. Yes.
Love. Please tune in for
right.
that new single. Oh, it's classic. Oh my gosh, we're so lucky, Karin. We get such awesome guests, and it's such a crack too. And honestly, I mean, he really is. That fellow there really is, proper job. I mean, we're just lucky to share a planet with Macka B in my book. I'm glad that people like Macka B are around right now. And I think that's what we all want to try and be, is the strongest and the clearest and the best we can be, to help the people around us, because we've all got, some significant challenges coming, especially for, changing the subject here, the vegan businesses. So coming straight into this, we do have a trade and media day at the Summerfest. So on the Friday, August 14th, starting at 10 a.m. and going through to 8 p.m., we have the Vegan Trade and Media Day, including this panel. We've got 5 panels, the suppliers and manufacturers. And this is really for trade and media professionals. So if you're listening, if you're not a trade and media professional, if you know some, invite them along. So if you've got shopkeepers or people that you work with who are in the trade, looking for new vegan products, especially independent retailers, bring them along. This panel here, particularly, Karin, hosted by our good friend Katrina Fox, who will be coming through shortly, featuring Mike and Joe from One Planet Pizza, and a number of other really interesting people, including Tammy from Fry's, Adrian from Plano. The second live stream we've got on the trade day is the independent retailers. And this is really interesting because not only do we have Mike Abrahams from Wild Oats, who's been in the independent retailers trade for probably 40 years now. John McKee from Hanover Health Foods is the oldest health store in the UK. Gareth Zeal used to be the nutritional advisor for Manchester City FC 20 years ago. And Rosie Greenaway is Natural Products magazine editor, which is the biggest natural products magazine in circulation. So a real quality panel, Friday, August 14th. It's free for professional trade and independent retailers, delegates, media professionals to join. There's a lot of business advice geared towards the independents, geared towards the smaller suppliers. And another fascinating third panel that we have from David and Lisa, really focusing on trends. And Karin, in a way, you should be on this one because you get to see a lot of the new vegan products. This is really about what's going on, the new vegan stuff, some of the packaging, what's trending. So it's useful for independent retailers especially to have a look at. And it includes not only our colleague from the Vegan Society, but also Dan from Alternative Stores, who's been vegan since 1969. So that's actually longer than me by some stretch. So that's going to be a really interesting panel, Karin, looking specifically at trends within the marketplace for vegan, plant-based options. So do tell your independent retailers about this. This is a really good day to come along. Support independent vegan businesses, support independent retailers. And this 4th session by Gareth Zeal, which is the health and nutrition panel. Gareth is a nutritional expert, string qualifications. He's right on the cutting edge, many respects, like the Plant-Based Health Professionals UK, of the latest research. So he'll be talking about things about, for instance, vitamin D and gut health as being recently, part of helping immune systems and helping combat the virus COVID-19. So this is going to be really essential for, particularly good for health stores and for staff training, because Gareth speaks the language of the independent retailer and specifically trained in instructing the shopkeepers basically to be able to give good advice for people coming into independent health stores looking for plant-based products. Karin, I've been talking 4 minutes non-stop. Tell us about your media panel.
Oh yeah, well, I I speak to journalists all the time. Some of my great friends are in national media, regional media, and I'm seeing more and more vegan journalists, vegan editors, vegan writers, and I think it's really good to speak to people, to pick their brains. If you run your own small business, if you want to get your message out there, we can pick the brains of that vegan who's on our side, and they happen to be a journalist, they happen to be a magazine editor, so we can find out exactly what they're looking for. You know, over the years, I've run my PR business, which is now my vegan PR business. I've run it for 15 years. And, you know, we say about the trends. I've seen so many trends over the past 15 years. At one point, you know, you didn't even want to say something's vegan. Now you absolutely want to shout about it. So, yeah, very excited about my session with some great media people.
So that's at the Trade Day, Karen. That's Trade Day on the 14th of August. You're very welcome, people, to invite, you know, anybody you think would benefit from that. There's a stack of information there. And of course, at the Summerfest, we're joined by some fantastic stallholders. I should mention the Vegan Society, who have once again come on board very, you know, fully. They're involved with panels. They're stallholders, they've got presentations, they're really contributing to it, they've been promoting us. Fantastic to see the Vegan Society and all our friends. It's actually that AGM on the same weekend, so even more so, gratitude to the Vegan Society. So it's wonderful to see the Vegan Society flourishing at the moment. And of course, our very good friends Animal Aid are also going to be exhibiting at Summerfest in a week's time. So Animal Aid, and I should stress at this point, Karen, how important it is for our visitors to the Summerfest to go to the exhibitors hall and, you know, go and browse, hopefully do a bit of shopping. There's some fantastic independent vegan businesses, campaigners, some great clothes. And of course, our friends here at Animal Aid, who are charity or campaigning, you know, have to be fundraising. A lot of challenges for all the vegan community right now. So if you're listening and you'd like to come along and support, please do remember, if you're perhaps attending one of the panels or the talks, do come along to the exhibitors, do have a browse, do pick up some of the literature, some of the information, and, you know, do if you can, come and do a bit of shopping, because honestly, our exhibitors would just love it. We've got some beautiful people, none other so than Heart to Heart here, and Simone. Simone has got some wonderful approach. You know, she's got a kind of spiritual thing going on. She's got a very uplifting, positive thing, very much similar actually what Macka B was talking about there, that uplifting positivity. And, you know, come along, come and pay, come and find out what's going to be at Heart to Heart. It's got some very interesting and uplifting things, and it's part of the magic of that VegFest festival is that you do see stuff that's a little bit new and a little bit interesting and dynamic. It might not be your cup of tea, that's fine. You can browse the next stall, but you might just come across something you never thought before, and you thought, you know what, that's really interesting. So there's some lovely stallholders, and we're very, very grateful to all of them actually, especially those that have you know, come on board for what is our first online event in what is very challenging conditions for so many people trading. Supernature are one of them. They do some fantastic vegan snack bars and such like. Have you tried the Supernature brand at all, Karen?
You know what? I don't think I have, but I've heard really good things about them. So, yeah, it's great. There's more and more vegan products coming out constantly. And it's just such an exciting time. There's something new. I mean, for my website, Veggie Vision, I get sent so many new products, and it just didn't happen 15 years ago like it is now. So Supernature, great logo, great name. Please come and give them your love and support at Summerfest next weekend.
Yeah, and I think you'll find that although you can't sample, you will be able to buy quite a lot of these things on special offers. So I know a lot of our stallholders are doing, you know, like special offer bunches of goodies, so you can try stuff buy one get one frees and such like. A lot of vegan products on the market, but none more so vegan protein. Big jump in rise in vegan protein, and this is one company that will be exhibiting with us for the first time. Company with My Vegan. They've got obviously here vegan protein powder, but they've also got quite a lot of other interesting different high protein, generally vegan snacks. So it's one of those brands that perhaps you might not be familiar with yet that you can come along and have a good look at. I'm sure they'll be having some special offers. They're certainly going to have, access to purchase on the day, either there and then or via their online shop. So that's it. That kind of wraps up some of our stall holders. We've got a number of them appearing. You can see them all at the moment on the website. So if you go to vegfest.co.uk/Summerfest Online / probably exhibitors, you will see them. And amongst them, of course, very importantly, our two sponsors. First one, Yayo. Karin, you're a big fan of Yayo hemp products. They're going to be at the show. Tell us a little bit about what you think about Yayo.
Yeah, I've used Yayo products for many years when I've gone on holiday, and especially right now, the sun is shining brilliantly all over the UK, and you need to protect your skin, but I don't want to use products with ingredients that I don't know what they are and I can't even pronounce them. So I trust Yayo. I'm really excited because their product is now in a glass jar as well. And yeah, use stuff that's got good ingredients. This is based on hemp and it's a reasonable price. I mean, you probably can get very cheap products with chemicals, and you can also buy extremely expensive products. So I think this is priced fairly and it's a good product.
Yeah, and there's actually a 30% off all Yayo products. That's the special offer. I can let you know that there is going to be a special offer, 30% off all Yayo products for the weekend of the 14th, 15th, 16th of August. That's coming up, Summerfest. And we will be joined also by our wonderful friends from the Isle of Bute in Scotland, the creators of the original vegan cheese, none other than the wondrous Bute Island Foods. Bute Island Foods, who first supplied vegan cheese back in 1988. I had been vegan a few years then, and I remember coming across their product in my local health store for the first time and thinking, wow, what a revelation, vegan cheese. And, Bute Island supply not only Tesco's and one or two other supermarkets with their own brand, but of course they had their groundbreaking, iconic cheese brand. So thank you, Bute Island.
Yeah,
thank you so much for sponsoring us.
Guys.
Listeners, do come along and say hello to Bute Island on the day. They'll be there on their stall, as will Katrina Fox and the Vegan Women's Leadership Network, of which Karen Richards, you are now an honorary member. I don't know if you know that. I still haven't paid my 50% of it, but I have it on good authority that by the time we get to Summerfest, only 3.5 months after I promised you, you will actually be a fully paid up member, because I will actually manage to save up enough to, but absolutely thrilled by the Vegan Women's Leadership Network. And I really do genuinely am behind this 100%. Speaking as a male, I'm just happy to see women have a strong voice. We need more. We've seen the benefits of women leading communities, and vegan community, especially if it's going global, relies on strong women leaders. And talking of strong women leaders, this is indeed the founder of the Vegan Women's Leadership Network, Katrina Fox, also the founder of Vegan Business Media. So Karen, I know you and Katrina have a lot in common. You both, apart from that, you both work with Vegfest, and you're both PR, and you're both women leaders, and you both do vegan media, and you do all sorts of wondrous work. But honestly, Katrina, thank you. You've come on board at a crucial time. You've launched the network, and you come into the trade show at Summerfest. It really has been an outstanding contribution. So thank you really from the bottom of my heart for that, and absolute respect for what you're doing. I know, Karen, we're fully behind Katrina. I think looking forward to years to come. So we're coming close to wrapping up. I just wanted some of the businesses that are not involved with the Summerfest at the moment. I know there's a lot of people who are not able to come on board either for various reasons. What there is, of course, is a number of other initiatives going, and none more so than the Vegan Traders Union. They have an initiative this whole of August. They're promoting themselves to each other and beyond and sharing. So there's a whole kind of month of, hundreds of small vegan independent businesses, and very important at this time. So, absolutely all of those businesses are not coming to Summerfest. We're absolutely on board with you too. We do our best to support you. I know there's challenges. Obviously, we've had to cancel our Olympia event. That has had severe knock-on effects and repercussions, and we know that. We will do our best consistently for the next couple of years. It will take probably to sort that all out, but we will keep at it and try and build now an online events and to do that. Should just mention too the Art of Compassion. There's an Art of Compassion auction at the moment, the Art of Compassion project. They're going to be exhibiting a whole gallery. There's 70 artists contributing work. You can go over to the art auction page on Facebook where there's a silent auction. You can place a bid if you want. And that's in support of the Vegans Against World Hunger and the New South Wales Hen Rescue. So truly global, that one. Thank you very, very much, especially to Lee, who's curated this, but also to Helen and Philip, who've always been such a huge part of that, but especially to all the artists who've actually just donated, their work for free to raise funds for two such worthy projects. So that's really coming to an end now, Kay. To kind of wrap up, I'll shut up for a minute and let you speak. But I did want to say that we're very grateful for everybody who's contributing to Summerfest. Come on board. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a crack. It's probably going to be bits and bobs. Might be a little bit interesting. We don't quite know. It's going to be new. It's going to be possibly challenging. It's going to be a lot of fun. And the main thing is it's going on. We're doing it. And we want to raise that flag, vegan flag. And Karen, I'm getting really excited. I can't wait to do it. It's going to be such a crack.
Oh, it is. It's fantastic. And, I'm doing interviews, talking to the press about Summerfest, and I'm getting more and more excited. Please join in. Come and join us at Summerfest. You've watched this video, hopefully from beginning to end. Give us a tweet, give us a share, tell your friends, share it on a group. Help spread the word. Tim and I are passionate vegans. We absolutely love this lifestyle. We want to make, and we are making, the best impact that we possibly can. We're bringing you experts, celebrities, doctors, great people, brilliant businesses. Help us, help them. That's what we're passionate about. So join in and help us grow, because together we can promote a fantastic vegan world, which we all know is better for you, it's better for the animals, it's better for the planet. There's win, 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 win. There is no downside of being vegan. So just help us. I think Tim and I have got, I think I said it to a radio presenter the other day, about 60 years or more veganism between us. And as Macka B said, I think it does keep us young as well. And a bit of makeup from my point of view. But no, we're just thankful to you for tuning in and to watching, and just give us some loves and some likes and help us spread the vegan word.
That's it, Karen. Well done. Thank you, sir, for that. Thank you for your uplifting contribution once again. It's been fantastic, and all the guests you bring, positive vegan vibes. And you're right, we just want to share it, get it out and about, inspire people a bit. So if you've managed to stay this whole 1 hour 25-minute course. Congratulations. Thank you for putting up with the pair of us and all our marvellous guests. And we shall leave you with our outro with Tom Regan. And of course, to remind ourselves that, you know, we are fighting a social justice movement for animals. Animals are being brutally exploited across the planet daily, and it's savage. And you know, the best thing that we can do is just the great refusal to buy into that chain of exploitation. And if we can learn how to, you know, create societies where we no longer use animals as property, and that we respect the right of animals not to be used, and we uphold those rights, and we challenge violations to those rights of our animals to be able to exist without being used. And it is pretty much as simple as that. That's the message. We don't need to use animals. Animals are not ours to be used. Animals have a right not to be used. And veganism reflects that position. In many respects, is a set of lifestyle choices and a discipline that reflects that animal rights position. And I shall leave you now, as we do every week, with the Tom Regan outro. Thank you very much. Please do share. Please do join us. Summerfest, August 14th, 15th, 16th, coming up. Date for your diary. If you haven't heard it already, you've heard it now. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in a bit. Good night.
My wife Nancy and I were active in the anti-war movement during the Vietnam period. And we were thinking that America should not be involved in that war because it involved violence that we didn't think could be justified. And during that period we thought about other aspects of our life that might involve violence. And we read Gandhi's work, and Gandhi's basically spoke from the page to us, so to speak, and said, if you think that violence against human beings is wrong, if you can't justify it, how can you justify those dead body parts you mentioned in your freezer? And if you can justify that, please tell me, Professor Regan, so to speak, and if not, think about it. And so we thought about it, and we couldn't find a good reason that would justify that kind of violence.
The other animals humans eat, use in science, hunt, trap, and exploit in a variety of other ways have a life of their own that is of importance to them apart from their utility to us. They are not only in the world, they are aware of it and also of what happens to them. And what happens to them matters to them. Each has a life that fares experientially better or worse for the one whose life it is. Like us, they bring a unified psychological presence to the world. Like us, they are some bodies, not some things.